All right, Chikondi, today we're going to discuss how blood passes through the heart. All right. First thing must be aware of is that blood passes through the heart two times. Okay, that's why it's called double circulation. Right. So you're going to have two forms of blood that will be passing through the heart. That's deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated blood does not have any oxygen in it. It contains carbon dioxide. And this is the blood that initially passes through the heart the first time, and then it goes to the lungs. All right. When it goes to the lungs, remember, as humans, we breathe out carbon dioxide. So the carbon dioxide from the deoxygenated blood leaves our body. And since we breathe in oxygen, the oxygenated blood comes into our bodies and enters our bloodstream. So that's the second type of blood, oxygenated blood, blood that is rich with oxygen. All right. So we must remember the heart has got four chambers: the right atrium, and the right ventricle. These are the first two chambers. These deal with deoxygenated blood. Then we've got the left atrium, and we have the left ventricle. These are the four chambers of the heart. Let's write them down. All right, so we're going to do the first stage where blood passes through the heart. Remember this, we have a double circulatory system where blood passes through the heart two times. So the first stage, blood, deoxygenated blood, all right, blood that doesn't have oxygen and carries carbon dioxide, is brought to the heart by the superior vena cava, which is this part which I'm drawing the arrow in, right? Superior vena cava, and also from the inferior vena cava, right? This is the oxygenated blood coming into the heart from the superior and inferior vena cava. So inferior VC, just say vena cava. All right. So the deoxygenated blood enters into the right atrium. Right. In the heart, you've got valves. Right. These funny shapes are put here. Valves prevent the backflow of blood. All right. So the deoxygenated blood enters into the right atrium, then goes to the right ventricle. All right. Then the right ventricle pumps this deoxygenated blood into the pulmonary artery. Okay. The pulmonary artery is responsible for taking blood to the lungs. Okay, so let me put it here, pulmonary artery. takes the deoxygenated blood to the lungs. Once the blood reaches the lungs, all right, once it reaches the lungs, maybe I'll just put black circle here to reach to represent the lungs. Yes, once the deoxygenated blood reaches the lungs, the carbon dioxide leaves the blood and we breathe it out, and the oxygen enters the blood because we breathe it in. So the oxygenated blood, excuse me, from the lungs comes back to the heart. All right. Now this is the second phase of the double circulation, where the oxygenated blood is coming to the heart. So the oxygenated blood comes to the heart through the pulmonary vein. Right? The pulmonary vein is what brings the oxygenated blood from the heart. Right? So this oxygenated blood enters through the left atrium, all right, then goes through the left ventricle, all right. The left ventricle has got the strongest muscles. Why? Because this oxygenated blood needs to be pumped to the rest of the body. So the left ventricle pumps the oxygenated blood to the aorta, all right. And the aorta is what takes the oxygenated blood to all the parts of the body. So here we have seen how blood moves to the heart. So here's just a summary of how blood moves to the heart, right? First, deoxygenated blood comes in through the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava, right? Then it enters the right atrium, all right? From the right atrium, it goes to the right ventricle. The right ventricle pumps this deoxygenated blood through the pulmonary vein, pulmonary artery, so the pulmonary artery to the lungs. All right, so remember the pulmonary artery takes the deoxygenated blood to the lungs. All right, then once the deoxygenated blood reaches the lungs, the carbon dioxide goes and the oxygen comes in. And from the lungs, the pulmonary vein brings the oxygenated blood. All right, so the pulmonary vein brings oxygenated blood through the left atrium and through the left ventricle. The left ventricle has the thickest muscles because it has to pump blood throughout the body, and then it leaves the heart through the aorta, which takes the blood to the rest of the body. So that is the circulation of blood through the heart.